Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today we have some fresh San Francisco 49ers news and rumors for you, mainly surrounding all the injuries that have suddenly piled up for our 49ers after the Monday Night Football loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Now, before we jump into it though, let me just quickly say this. We're doing a live, yes, I'll be live doing a Q&A video following this video. So this video is going to play, and then we'll do a live Q&A for about 30 minutes, so stay tuned for that. All right, jump into the big news. This is the big story that's surrounding the week so far. Jorge Kittle, will he play on Sunday? Will he not play on Sunday? Here's the deal. There's conflicting things going around because ESPN's Adam Schefter had tweeted some things, and some local reporters had tweeted some things. Here is the up-to-date what we know on Jorge Kittle. So, he did not practice yesterday, which was going to be big. He needed to practice on Wednesday to be able to really have a shot to play. That's kind of the big indicator for the 49ers this week. So he did not practice because of that knee and ankle injuries he's been dealing with over the past couple of weeks. He is unlikely to play on Sunday. Here's exactly what happened. First, let's throw this quote up here that Kyle Shanahan had to say about Gold, actually technically Robbie Gould and Jorge Kittle, but saying, quote, "Existing injuries are still in the same boat. I'm hopeful for them this week, but still pretty similar to last week." Now, he said that, but also said that he's not going to rule out Jorge Kittle, that he was day-to-day. Again, this was on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday comes around, and Kyle Shanahan does his usual phone conversation with Arizona Cardinal writers and reporters, and on that phone call, he said, "We are not going to have Jorge Kittle." Kind of sneaked out there. People were like, "Oh, so Kittle's out." Then he said, "Well, no, he's not technically out. We're preparing as if he is going to be out." So again, there is no official ruling saying Jorge Kittle officially out for Sunday, but it's like, yeah, Jorge Kittle is going to be out for Sunday. He's day-to-day right now, but it's not looking good for his chances to be able to play against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, again, I expected him to play earlier on this week. We had heard things that he was going to be back healthy, that he was running around the locker room in front of reporters. It should be good to go, and it looks like that is just not the case. So barring some sort of crazy healing process, or he feels great maybe on Friday or on Sunday or whenever, it looks like there will be no Jorge Kittle for the 49ers going forward, at least for this week. I think they're probably trying to get him ready for their upcoming matchup against, Seattle, and then against the Rams, and against the Packers. Those are a little bit more important than a home game against the Arizona Cardinals, despite the fact that they did play very well the last time we played them on Thursday night. All right, mentioned it again, just sit tight for like the next 10 minutes, enjoy the news. We're doing a live Q&A video coming up a little bit later on, literally after this video, depending on when you're watching it. Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be, again, after this video. We'll be going live on a 49ers Q&A video. All right, speaking of someone who is expected to play on Sunday, good news for 49er fans. It's looking like Emmanuel Sanders will play on Sunday as well. Now, he also did not practice on Wednesday, dealing with that rib injury. As we reported earlier during the week, it is not as serious as some people had originally thought. He had multiple MRIs, checked the extent of the injury, and it looks like he should be able to play on Sunday. The injury is very similar, from what I heard, to Kittle's rib injury last year, which he played through basically the entire year. So, he'd be getting shots, might even have the flak jacket on, but it looks like Emmanuel Sanders should be able to play on Sunday, again, barring some sort of, weird setback where he doesn't feel good on Sunday morning and he's a late-time scratch. He's day-to-day right now, which basically means that the team has not ruled him out yet, but it's looking like he's leaning towards being able to play on Sunday, which is good news for the 49ers because they have struggled at the wide receiver position without Emmanuel Sanders. We saw it on Sunday. So something that was, or Monday night, I should say, was ever clear on Monday night. Once Sanders went out, the offense just, it didn't die, but it definitely took a step back from being the elite, high-powered run and passing offense to being an offense that can run the football. They struggled on Monday, and then can kind of throw the football on the outside as well, but nowhere near as much with Emmanuel Sanders. Remember, that game was 10-0 early on. Even Kendrick Bourne looked good whenever Sanders was going across the middle and completing first downs after, really one after another, it felt like, on those first couple of drives. Once he went out, the struggle for the 49ers definitely went down. We saw that Pettis struggled, Bourne struggled, and Deebo Samuel, again, still been up and down so far in his rookie year. So the hope is that Sanders is expected to play, but again, I would say this, same with Kittle, if you had needed them to sit out another week, the schedule is favorable where you could sit them out against the Cardinals and then get them ready for that tough Packers, Seahawks, Saint stretch that's coming up here, Raven as well, that's coming up here over the next couple of days. Let's go for a question here. Do the 49ers need Sanders to be Super Bowl contenders? I think he's an easy yes. Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no. Do they need Emmanuel Sanders to be healthy and playing to actually be legitimate Super Bowl contenders? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know down below. All right, speaking of wide receivers that aren't performing well, Dante Pettis, apparently he continues to go further and further down in head coach Kyle Shanahan's, I guess, offensive doghouse is how I'd say that. Dante Pettis had 0 catches on Monday Night Football. I think he had 3 or 4 targets. He had that massive drop in overtime. And Kyle Shanahan, I think, is getting very, very tired of Pettis and kind of voiced that during his press conference the other day, saying, quote, this is on Pettis, he's had a number of opportunities, and I'm one of those guys who believe in him the most. That's why he's here. He's had his opportunities. The more he doesn't take advantage of his opportunities, the less opportunities he is going to get. And that's tells you everything you need to know. I mean, it's just the less opportunities he is going to get. Now, remember, 49ers did let go of Jordan Matthews in training camp, then they re-signed him, then they let him go again. He signed with Philadelphia. So there isn't really a wide receiver to pick up the Dante Pettis slack. And they didn't really need it because Goodwin was there, Deebo Samuel, and Emmanuel Sanders, Kendrick Bourne as well. But with Sanders potentially, now he should play on Sunday, but potentially being out for longer, they might still have to rely on Pettis going forward. But it's very obvious to me that, that Dante Pettis has struggled immensely so far this year, and has not had the year that Kyle Shanahan was expecting, or they probably would not have kept him on the roster during training camp. I think that was the big deal during training camp, is that Pettis was flashy here and there, up and down here and there, and Shanahan said, if I just stick with him, I'll eventually be rewarded with the good Dante Pettis play that we've been hoping for, and it just has not turned out to be the case. He goes further and further down in the offensive doghouse, and looks like if Sanders continues to play and be healthy, less and less snaps for Dante Pettis, which honestly I'm pretty much fine with. Question here, is Dante Pettis the worst wide receiver on the 49ers? If he's not, who is the worst receiver on the 49ers right now? You make an argument it's Kendrick Bourne, although Bourne has actually played pretty decently so far this year. When you take away the terrible drops, he actually has some flashy, he had a touchdown here and there, some flashy plays. But, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Final bit of news here. I think this is good news for all of us. And again, I don't want to jump too much on Joe Staley and his injury, but it looks like Justin Skule will be reassuming his left tackle role for the 49ers going forward, because Joe Staley did have a that finger injury, the fractured finger. He had surgery on it the other day, so he's out for a couple of games is what we're hearing. And so it looks like Justin Skule, not officially been ruled a left tackle yet, mind you. Shanahan did not say, yeah, Skule will start. He said Skule will most likely start, which it's kind of strange. It's like, well, we know he's going to start. But it looks like we finally will be getting more Justin Skule, who had been performing very, very well so far this year for the 49ers, filling in for Joe Staley. So well that on Monday night, when Joe Staley was getting beat time and time again by Jadeveon Clowney, I kind of went, did they rush Joe Staley back? And did they need to rush Joe Staley back? Because Justin Skule's been really, really good. So I think this is good news overall for the 49ers. Again, you don't want to see Joe Staley hurt. He is a Pro Bowler. But this is what happens in the NFL. People get so tied to their left tackles that they start to age, and it's like, oh, well, he's still on a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle. And it's like, oh, well, how long has it been since he's actually been a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle? I think you keep playing Justin Skule, because the hope is not only is he better right now, but he's a building block for the future, right? That's the goal with Justin Skule. If you can potentially have found your starting left tackle for the next 5 to 10 years in the 6th round, after being the 20th ranked offensive lineman in the NFL draft, the 20th ranked offensive tackle in the NFL draft this year, it's a massive steal. You'll save a ton of money going forward and solidify the left side of Jimmy Garoppolo's offensive line for many, many years. Again, the news here, Staley, finger was fractured on Monday night. He has had surgery. He will not be able to play for a couple of games, and it looks like Joe Staley will be filling in for him going forward. Now, when Staley's healthy, should Skule still be the starter for the rest of the season? Let me know what you guys think down below. Type 1 for yes, type 2 down for no. If you still like Joe Staley, type 2. If you think like me and Justin Skule's played pretty well, go ahead and type 1 down below. I want to see y'all's reactions right there. All right. So that's all the news that's happening right now inside the world of the 49ers. Try to give you guys a quick update there. And again, a couple of minutes from now, depending on when you're watching this video, if you're watching it on Thursday at about, 6:20, 6:25 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be going live on this 49ers Only Chat Sports YouTube channel, so subscribe if you haven't. We'll be doing a bunch of Q&A questions. You guys basically ask questions. You guys fire away. I have no idea what you're going to ask, and I'm going to answer them in the order that we received them. So we had about 900 people last time. We're going to try to get it to 1,000 people live on Thursday night at 6:30 p.m., so be sure to tune in for that. Again, all time we have for today on this 49ers news and rumors video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Again, quickly, no Kittle. I think Sanders. I think Skule, and we'll see what happens with Dante Pettis in terms of his reps going forward for the 49ers. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott. All the time we have for today. Signing off. See you guys in the live Q&A coming up next. It's been the 49ers Report here on YouTube. See you guys.